We are nearing the end of Heartland Season 18, with only one more episode left. Episode 9 delivers a gripping cliffhanger filled with heartfelt moments, difficult decisions, and the resolution of several ongoing storylines. Hey, Heartland fans! Welcome back to Next Level. The episode begins with Jack and Tim planning a fishing trip with Nathan Price, hoping to end their long-standing feud. After the conflict at the market, Jack was determined to reconcile with Nathan, but Nathan was hesitant to join the trip, especially with his father's health in decline. Jack and Tim convinced him that the trip would be beneficial for both him and his father. Reluctantly, Nathan agreed, although Lo was concerned that the trip would waste time better spent on business. However, Jack and Tim felt it was necessary for Heartland's future. As they headed to the stream, the outing got going on a harsh note when they understood they had failed to remember their lunch. Nathan proposed to share his bites, and soon the men were fishing in the waterway and beginning their discussion. Nathan drilled down into the difficulties he was confronting, especially his dad's Alzheimer's. Tim imparted his own insight to his mom's dementia, which made a connection between the men. Nathan confessed to having a liable outlook on the chance of setting his dad in a consideration office. However, Jack consoled him that he was definitely not a terrible child for thinking about it. Jack also suggested they move forward with a plan to unite the two families instead of continuing to compete. Rather than battling over exclusive deals, he proposed that both Heartland beef and Price beef products be sold side by side in Crown Shopper stores, giving customers a choice. Nathan was skeptical, but Jack's reasoning made sense, and Nathan agreed to give the idea a try. By the end of the trip, the three men had reached an understanding, and Nathan even apologized for escalating the feud. Jack was optimistic about their future partnership and vowed to speak to Lou about the plan. As Jack and Tim were heading back from the fishing trip, Jack finally addressed his concerns about Tim's new career opportunity as a rodeo commentator. Tim had hoped to talk about it during the trip, but the focus had been on Nathan, so it didn't happen. On the drive home, Jack pulled over and expressed his fears. He admitted that he wasn't worried about Tim's abilities or the importance of the opportunity, but about what the future would look like. Jack feared that once the network realized Tim's potential, they would want him permanently. And Tim would spend more time in Dallas than in Heartland, leaving Jack to run the ranch alone. Jack said, "I don't want to have to do this on my own." Tim reassured him that Lou would stay and that they could hire help. But Jack was unconvinced. While Jack knew Tim would be great at the job, he feared it would mark the end of an era at Heartland, where Tim had always been by his side. It was an emotional moment for Jack, a rare display of vulnerability. And Tim, though conflicted, seemed to understand Jack's concerns. It left viewers wondering whether Tim would change his mind about the job or move forward with it. In the meantime, back at Heartland, Jessica, Lisa, and Katie assumed responsibility for gathering together dairy cattle that had gotten away from the property. The women had arranged an early lunch. However, it was intruded on when Amy informed them about the getaway from cows. With Jack and Tim away, Jessica, Lisa, and Katie quickly stepped in to help. They immediately got to stir, utilizing their abilities to gather together the nearest steers, while Amy pursued the ones further away. Lisa's roping abilities, gained from Jack, and Jessica's recently procured abilities proved to be useful when they found a cow trapped in security fencing. Katie, however, at first apprehensive, assumed the undertaking of removing the wire in any event, harming herself all the while. The injury drove Katie to scrutinize her job at Heartland and whether she was ready to deal with farm life. Nonetheless, Jessica and Lisa consoled her, underlining that being a cowgirl isn't tied in with squeezing into a specific form. They shared their own encounters of offsetting individual dreams with farm life, empowering Katie to seek after her interests while remaining consistent with her underlying foundations. This genuine second assisted Katie with acknowledging she didn't need to pick one way over another. She could offset her inventive yearnings with her life at Heartland, very much like Jessica and Lisa had done. Amy and Caleb likewise had a significant storyline in this episode. At the point when Amy found a harmed horse named Dodger on a close-by property, the pony had a serious injury and gave off an impression of being dismissed. At the point when Amy endeavored to mediate, the land's owner, Tommy, showed up with a shotgun, driving her out. Amy called the others conscious society. However, they couldn't send help for 7 days. Caleb, perceiving the property's name and its proprietor as somebody from his rodeo past, proposed to help Amy. He knew Tommy and trusted he could persuade him to permit them to really focus on the pony. Strains erupted when Caleb showed up at the property with Amy, as Tommy was still mad about Caleb's past. Caleb's set of experiences with Tommy added intricacy to the circumstance. However, Caleb attempted to maintain order. While Caleb remained outside, Amy evaluated Dodger's wounds and started treatment. At last, Tommy understood the seriousness of the circumstance and permitted Amy to keep helping Dodger. He uncovered that the pony had a place with his late spouse, and that, since her passing, he had battled to adapt, ignoring the pony all the while. Caleb imparted his own encounters to difficulties, which assisted Tommy with understanding that he expected to assume a sense of ownership with Dodger's consideration. In this jam-packed episode, we saw old feuds resolved, difficult decisions made, and new bonds formed. Jack and Tim made progress in their relationship with Nathan. Tim faced an emotional crossroads about his future, and the women of Heartland showed incredible support for one another. The episode ended with Amy and Caleb making strides in saving Dodger and Katie contemplating her future at the ranch. As the second-to-last episode of the season, it set the stage for an exciting conclusion, leaving us eager to see how these storylines will unfold in the season finale. Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe our channel Next Level. Press the bell icon for more Heartland updates. Thanks.